Hey, what's going on, guys? And happy Friday. So, today we're going to talk about masculine and feminine energy in relationships. So, let's jump right into this. So, every relationship struggles with this. Whether you have, the man taking on the masculine role, his shoulders is broad, he's strong. You're like, I got this, I'm good, I got you. You might have a man that's like that. Then you might have a woman that's like that. You meet her, she like, don't worry about it, I got you. Bass, all in the voice, bass. And you might take on the feminine role, right? Now, fellas, I know this is going to bother you, but some of us are actually in whole relationships right now. And we're a whole girl in a relationship. I mean, like, we are sensitive. We want to talk about our feelings. We want the woman to hold us. We check in on her more than she checks in on us. Yeah. Those good morning texts. Hey, babe. How you doing, babe? I miss you, babe. Yeah. That's you. Or, don't worry about it, babe. I'll make breakfast for you. Meanwhile, she says, thanks. Literally like that. Literally. You hear how my voice went low? Thanks. Thanks, bruh. Now, I'm sorry, but if you're in a whole relationship and your girl calling you bruh, run. Because you are the girl. You're the dude who has your legs crossed. You're the one who's leaning on her shoulder. Yeah. You're the girl in the relationship. And here's the thing, like, most times dudes don't realize this. They don't feel like, okay, well, I can't be the man or the woman because I'm a man. But you're not a woman. You're just feminine. And when you're feminine in relationships, it changes everything. It changes how you feel. You're more emotional. You want to watch love movies. You cry all the time, right? Now, can you be masculine? Yes, you can. Just like women can be feminine, right? Even masculine women can be feminine. But here's the issue here. In relationships, whether that's friendships, personal, intimate relationships, there's always this power struggle, right? And the power struggle is who is going to take on the masculine role, right? Who is going to be the person that says, I'm a man? And who's going to be the person that says, I got you, boo? Which one is going to do that? And so that's where the struggle comes in. Because sometimes the man carries himself like a full-grown man. But deep down inside, really a girl. He's really sensitive, really emotional, really high-strung. You ever see those dudes that get mad quick? You know what I mean? I'll kill her. Oh, God, I'll kill everybody. Those dudes are feminine. Yeah. The masculine role is the person who's the calmest. I know it's hard to hear. I know. But if you're in a relationship and you're the calmest person, when things are going crazy, when you just want to work, when you just want to chill, when you just want to, make sure everybody's good and just, be left alone, you're taking on a masculine role. And so how do you fix this, right? How do you, change this thing, this dynamic? Well, the first thing you need to do is identify is that your nature, right? Take your ego out of it, right? Take your pride out of it, and actually focus on, is this your nature? Are you more nurturing? Are you more loving? Are you more caring? Are you more, empathetic and compassionate? Do you love taking care of people, giving massages, massage somebody's feet after a long, hard day's work, and, cooking and cleaning, right? Now, some people might say, oh, well, those are not necessarily feminine roles. They're not. But you also have to look at how society views it. And unfortunately, we live in a world where, people just doing normal things like cooking, cleaning, saying, hey, babe, how's your day? All of a sudden, you're a girl. All of a sudden, you're feminine. And it's really not true. But unfortunately, we live in a world where whoever is the calmest, whoever has to do the most work, whoever has to be at the forefront of the relationship, that's the man. And sometimes the man thinks he's the man of the relationship, when in reality, sometimes it's the woman. Yeah. Sometimes it's the woman who actually is taking on that masculine role, right? And so, what do you do when people start to identify who's who? Or we can tell you wear the pants in the family. She talking to you. They talking to your girl, right? So you paying all the bills, you making sure she good, taking care of the kids, doing whatever you got to do, and you being belittled right in front of everybody at Chili's. See what I'm saying? And so what are you going to do? Do you go home and have a whole argument about it? Right? Does the person correct them? No. We're equal in partnership, or is it, yeah, you're right, I wear the pants in the family. And so this is a struggle in all relationships. So what do? You have to identify that you are who you are. And even though based on society, people just say you're a masculine or feminine, what you have to understand is that both roles are important. Because, if a person's working hard and there's no one there to take care of them, then masculine people tend to really struggle with external addictions. So, they might do drugs, drinking, things like that to cope with the stress of life, right? And then you might have a person who's feminine where they may eat, or they may drink as well too, but they more so may get into things that it affects their health. Like externally, you'll be able to see it. And so, how do you identify which one is you? Well, ask yourself. Are you the person that believes that, act first, think later? Are you the person that wants to be strong for everyone? Are you not really affectionate or emotional? Are you not the person that is, open about your feelings and, sharing, what's really struggling with, what you're really struggling with? Sometimes we're going through things and we can't articulate it. We just can't. I've been there. And I've been in relationships where, oh gosh, let me see how it goes. I usually wind up from the door, I'm taking on the role of the feminine man, right? And I know this because people underestimate what it takes to be nurturing, caring, and everything like that. You have to be able to handle the weight and stress of that person plus yours. And then you have to be able to heal that person, which means that you have to be going through more pain than that person to be able to know how to heal them. Taking on a feminine role is a lot of work, but it's unseen work, right? It's work where we call it shadow work, because people don't see the stress, the things that you do for people, being there, your presence, the sacrifices you make, whether people know it or not. No one sees it. I've been there. And I've also been the person who has had to take on the masculine role when it was necessary, right? And so what has always happened in my relationships is that, when I had to take on the masculine role, it was always an issue. And it's hard because sometimes when you're dealing with women who are, alpha females, right? Or females who actually operate more from a masculine perspective, they struggle with it because they start to lose their identity. They think that, being strong and, not being as expressive or being as feminine makes them weak. It doesn't. The truth is that we live in a world where, unfortunately, women have had to take on the masculine role. Did they want to? No. But we live in a world where, because they have to keep taking it on, all you're meeting is women who are starting to embody that characteristic. And so now you have to accept, okay, well, is this person, masculine? And am I okay with a masculine woman? Or do I want a feminine woman? Now, feminine women, they're emotional, they're affectionate, they love, they care, they all those things, right? But, you have to also keep in mind, you're going to have to protect her. Are you a protector? Are you strong? Are you able to make sure that she's good, right? Because being a protector doesn't mean gangbanging, right? Doesn't mean, being in a gym and asking yourself, can I really knock out the biggest dude that approaches me? Protecting someone is about strategically providing safe spaces and environment for them to be okay. That's really what protection is, right? So, and thinking ahead of them so you can make sure that nothing happens to them. That's it. You don't have to be all, super duper strong. I'm not saying you don't have to train and be prepared to defend yourself if need be, but it's not a high necessity. It's something that's just a part of, nature of just being able to defend yourself, but you don't have to say, this is who I am as a man. So, but fellas, if you are taking on a masculine role, that's great. But if you are taking on a feminine role, that's a powerful thing too. Doesn't make you weak. Doesn't make you weak. It's just that, the real question you have to ask yourself, what's more important? Whether your partner knows or the world. Sometimes people who are taking on a masculine role, their main focus is, making sure the world knows. Oh, but they don't know. Well, who cares? Because they're not going to be here for you when the door is closed. I am. So they don't matter. Now, for ladies, I know it's hard because, there's not a lot of... today is very hard for men to take on the masculine role today. And I'm going to tell you why. Because most of us are in jail. We grew up in a single household. Which creates this emotional back and forth. It's harder for us to commit because, we start to define love based upon relationships ending instead of them beginning or lasting. And so, how do we build something that is going to be sustainable? The key is accepting what you need to do. Yeah. accepting your role in the relationship, accepting that you are going to be the important part of the relationship. If you don't accept that, it's going to be difficult. So, the masculine and the feminine role, they're both important. It's like yin and yang. The most important thing you have to think about is, it's not about how the world sees you. It's about how you see yourself and each other. Okay? I hope this was helpful. Again, I love you guys. I appreciate all the support and the love. Yeah, love each other. Don't disrespect each other in public. You know what I mean? It's not necessary. Y'all both doing hard work. It's just that, the person, just as the person seen, don't mean ain't somebody at home that cooking and cleaning. Trust me, that's real work. Don't underestimate. You gotta get on your knees and get some toothbrush and toothpaste, or clean the floor or mop, or it's a lot. So, much respect to both people, and just make sure that you guys love each other unconditionally. Because at the end of the day, we are all we have. Okay? I love you guys. I appreciate all the support and the love, and I will see you on the next episode. Peace.